ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. My channel is all about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationships. All right, well, we got one toxic one over here. Yes, we do. All right, so we're going to get into this topic. And the topic is Dusty influencer Stephen Crowder. Hope I'm saying it right. Well, whatever. We ain't got to be all respectful to him. Just read the description. All right. Berating pregnant wife for not doing wifely duties. So he's berating his wife because she's not doing wifely duties. Oh, really? This is what we do to a pregnant woman? Really? Really? All right. So, we have our co-host, the real Jack Newtown. So he's going to be leading this. I'm just introducing this, and he's going to be leading this because he brought this to my attention. I was like, really, really, really. All right. So he's going to be doing the rest of this commentary, and if you need to reach out to him for like a viewer's request, feel free to email him, and you can find the email in my description, and we go from there. Now, also, if you need to get in contact with me, you have a viewer's request, or you need coaching in dating, love, relationships, toxic relationship, stuff like that, or you just need to speak to me, you can find my email in the description too. But most important, don't forget, hit the like, share the video on your social media, also subscribe to my channel if you're into my content, and check out some of my past commentary too. All right. Jack is going to take the floor now. Let's get it. Go ahead, Jack.
Alrighty, I appreciate Donna Just Being Real for allowing me to lead the broadcast. And we got something on this desk right here with Stephen Louder with Crowder. And we got Stephen Crowder over here. He's in the news as of late. There has been a leaked video footage of in their home of him and his wife Hillary having a discussion. It seems like Mr. Crowder was berating his wife, being disrespectful. He was not being a husband like man to his wife. So we're going to go ahead and get straight to the point. We don't want to be boring y'all, so let's get straight to the video. Let me pull this up. Let's see, this goes here. Hold on. Now, of course, this is my version because I want to make sure we don't get hit with any flags or anything. Here we go. Here's the video that was leaked. Now, remember, this is back in 2021. All
Did you
right.
share the video to me? Are you so I can put it up? Or you have it up?
Yeah, I'm finna post it up right now. Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
like I said, this is the full unedited video. Now, of course, there's been accusations from the other side that are supporters with the Crowder group that the video has been edited. Okay, I don't see where the edit is, and a lot of you are not even video experts or deal with cameras over the many years. So, as far as I see, I don't see any of editing. It's just one part of it. Well, y'all don't want to know the rest of it, so y'all want to be careful what you wish for. So let's go ahead and get and load this up.
Okay, let me put it up.
Because I drew a boundary. I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary in abusive and cruel. You are not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There's no groceries. I do have
Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes. How does a man respect? How does a man receive love and respect? No. How does a man respect? No, you're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You are not
then
taking
I
the
will
car.
ask them to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not correct, Stephen.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Stephen, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Stephen.
Like, I can't
Stephen.
go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back on your back. That doesn't work either.
See,
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be
Stephen.
back when I'm back?
Stephen,
You're making it work. Can you do that? The only way out of it is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
we are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect.
Stephen,
Yeah. There you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easily.
I don't give up, Stephen.
Hillary,
Stephen,
you give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Stephen, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Stephen, your abuse is sick. Your abuse
Watch it.
is sick.
Watch it. Fucking watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, you just be disciplined about it. You go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. We're at an impasse. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife.
As a wife.
Hillary, come on now.
I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna engage anymore. I'm gonna go. I'll text me what you need. I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not trying to.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. I'm committed to you. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm gonna just.
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? No, you take that in.
All right, let's go ahead and get that out the way. Okay, what do you think about that, Donna? Just your thoughts. Somebody who specializes in dealing with the narcissism and that sort of matter. What's your first thoughts?
Okay, my first thoughts is we got another Dusty, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, we got another Dusty. This is a Dusty move. All right. Who are you to talk to your wife like that? And she's pregnant. Look at her. Let me show a picture real quick. Let's show. She's pregnant. hmm See right there. And this is how you treat her and how you speak to her. There's something wrong with this man. It really is something wrong with him. Yep. So what I say is I put him in the Dusty category. Yes, I do. hmm Go ahead, Jack. That's my thoughts real quick.
Okay, awesome. What we see here is textbook narcissism, entitlement, privilege. He feels like he's a god and that she shall kneel before him, that he's Xerxes or something like that, that he's coming after King Leonidas. It's like that's his mentality. There's a difference between being holding yourself accountable and then deflecting. And so as of late, Stephen Crowder has been deflecting instead of just owning up to the fact that, he said he chose wrong. No, sir. Yeah. What was that? Okay. Instead of that he chose wrong, maybe it was your fault, sir. Now, people claim you don't know the context of this. Well, to the same ones who support Stephen Crowder when George Floyd was being executed by Officer Derek Chauvin, where's the context to that? Hmm? Where's the context to Trayvon Martin situation? What was the context to various other people's situations, but y'all decide to side with the narrative? So, but when it comes to you guys, the conservative groups, now all of a sudden we need clarity and context. But then with everybody else that you don't like or views you may not support, that video shows you did it. You're wrong. Evil, 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 devil, 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 right? But then here comes y'all come along and you're getting caught doing something stupid, doing something disrespectful, doing something demoralizing, doing something that's demented towards a woman who is 8 months pregnant with twins. Now, all of a sudden, we need some clarity and context. And kind of from the likes of, let's keep it real, Tommy Sotomayor. Well, Tommy, last time I checked, sir, Steven Crowder stole your style. He stole some of your material. And you sit here trying to pseudo defend this guy and then try to say, why are black people concerned about so-called white issues? Sir, we can talk about whatever we want, just like you can talk about whatever you want. That goes for anybody. This is not a race issue, okay? This is an issue with a man who is so-called man who is being disrespectful towards his wife. Now, the critics will say, well, she might have did something to him before he went off. So far, the paperwork shows wrong answer. Look, the guy behind the scenes obviously has some issues. And then he goes on a little tirade about his divorce. Now, of course, that video was done in 2021 in July. Let me go ahead and put this on here on the Daily Beast. Let me pop this up on here and share the screen real quick. Hold on 1 second. Here you go. Here's the news. Steven Crowder's extortion war with Candace Owens blows up. So now, when this situation leaked, Steven Crowder is accusing Candace Owens, who is a black woman, who's also conservative, from a Daily Wire of extortion. So instead of just holding himself accountable as a man, he decides to blame a woman for all of his problems. Now he's accusing Candace Owens of extorting him because he refused the Daily Wire contract, which the Daily Wire contract was $50 million for 5 years, and he turned it down because he felt like he wanted more money. Well, sir, Mr. Crowder, you're on Rumble, okay? Yes, you got numbers, but you don't got numbers like some others who got much more bigger numbers than you do. Even though you got more subscribers, Kevin Samuels pulled more numbers than you did, and he had 1 million. You got 5 million subscribers. Kevin Samuels had 1 million subscribers, and he pulled more numbers than you did. So it's all about the numbers. You're not pulling more numbers than Joe Rogan, okay? You're not pulling more numbers than the other top YouTubers. That's why you on Rumble, because that's where you have to go, right? So let's go ahead and let's just listen to this article.
There's no sound on it. We're not hearing it.
Hold on. Oh, hold on. You say there's no sound?
No, I don't hear no sound.
Okay. Huh. Hold on. Let me turn this up. Let me turn. Let me pull. Hold on 1 second. Turn this up. All right. Let me try it now. You hear that?
Nope, not yet. No, no sound yet.
Is that better?
No, nothing's happened.
Huh. I can hear it loud and clear.
It's not coming on my end. Nope.
Huh. That's very interesting. Strange. Oh, you might have to play it on your end. You might have to press the play button. You see that little play button under there?
But I can't do that because
because
you
remember,
you
because
shared it. You shared it to me. Let's see what
oh,
minute.
okay. So you're not able to interact with it.
No, I'm just going by what's on your screen.
Oh, okay, okay. Wow. Crap. I'm hearing this loud and clear. I'm talking about like loud, loud. I thought it was too loud. Just hold on. Just let's see this. You hear that?
No, no sound. I hear you clearly, but I don't hear it.
Okay. I'm putting the speaker right next to the microphone. So I mean you have to hear that. Uh,
Not
okay. I'll just read it because obviously this is not working. Because I mean I'm hearing it loud and clear. Um maybe okay. Let me just I'll just read it instead. Okay. All right, right wing shock jock Stephen Crowder tossed a grenade in the conservative web show World this week. He accused fellow opponent Candace Owens of trying to extort him with details of his divorce and separation he blamed on his wife. Days later, Crowder is now on the back foot with Crowder's attorney reportedly rebuffing a cease and desist letter from Owens, and with Crowder's ex-wife family releasing a statement accusing Crowder of emotional abuse. Crowder, the host of the show Louder with Crowder, has been in divorce proceedings since 2021. He announced on the show on Tuesday. Crowder claimed he made the announcement in response to veiled threats from rivals on the right, mainly Candace Owens, who hosts her own show, The Daily Wire. Crowder played clips from January episode Owens Show, in which Owens attributed a feud between Crowder and Daily Wire to unspecified personal issues in Crowder's life. Crowder suggested those comments plus alleged behind the scenes attacks amount to extortion. Owens was threatening to leak information about his divorce, but yet um sir, you don't have any proof of that. You're see again, this is the problem I have with a number of men, so-called men, that also includes Derek Jacks. You get caught doing something you shouldn't be doing, and yet you don't own up to your accountability. See, accountability to certain men is kryptonite. Most women too. But accountability is what builds character. Lack of accountability is what diminishes character. And Crowder lacks accountability. It's not a man. You lack accountability, sir. But let's continue. If you're familiar with the extortion, you know that the feeling well Crowder told his audience going to claim that some other issues or interference have been more pernicious behind the scenes with demands and threats to use his information, which they believed he would be so public and embarrassing to me and my wife in a difficult time that it could be used, not only put my children in harm's way. Owens has denied the extortion allegations, told the Daily Beast she sent Crowder a cease and desist. On Thursday, she said she received response from his lawyer stating she did not have grounds for defamation suit. Actually, she does, sir. If you make those serious accusations of extortion, I don't know who his dumbass lawyer is. If you go on your broadcast, look, Don, just say I go on my broadcast and I accuse such and such without proof. Oh, example. I'm using the example. Donut on YouTube, you accuses Jaguar Wright of having a intimate relationship with her now deceased son Giovanni. That is a accusation he has not yet able to be proved. Jaguar gets out and she turns around and she can sue him for defamation and win. What you did, sir, is defamation. You cannot prove she's doing this stuff. You're just doing that because you trying to get the monkey off your back. Sir, you got caught being emotionally abusive. And then you see in that tape, he says, well, what about me? What about me? What about me? I need to go to the gym. I need to go to the gym. Yep, you sure do. But sir, you could have went on and got an Uber. Your wife could have went on and got the vehicle and got the food and the groceries, whatever, whatever that she was planning to do. Why allow your rights to go on a risk and go on an Uber? And you know how these Uber drivers are. They're crazy. Some of them are crazy. They might kidnap and rob, rape, and kill you.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of stories. I've done commentary with the Ubers, these drivers. Yep.
but yet you're willing to allow your wife, who is 8 months pregnant with twins, to risk, to put on a risk, okay, risk because of your personal ego, sir. Sir, the gym is 24/7. You can go there anytime. Sir, you can do push ups, you can do sit ups, you can buy weights from a gym factory and have your own weight set if you're so concerned about the gym. You obviously have the money. You make over six figures, probably even more than that, sir, in what you do. You probably make more than that. So I don't see what's the issue with her using a vehicle to get where she go, but you instead feel like you need to use a vehicle. You feel like, oh, you need to walk the dog. Sir, why don't you walk the dog while you sitting on your ass smoking a cigar? You could have walked the dog, smoked the cigar at the same damn time. It's called multitasking. You were just sitting on your ass all day, probably half drunk. I sent him a cease and desist letter based on his claims, which had made it very clear he was accusing me of extortion and heavily insinuated that something happened behind the scenes while I somehow threatened him and his child. We mean children, because they were twins. Owen told the Daily Business. Lawyer came back and basically said that my claims were not actionable because he was using the term extortion as a feeling. Whoever he hired is a dumb attorney. The attorney's letter stated Mr. Crowder's opinions fall far short of any defamation. That's BS. At most, he is merely opinionated comparatively the feeling of certain misconduct to his own present state of being. Again, at the most, is simply reminiscent of Mr. Crowder's personal opinion, specific reps the type of misconduct. Crowder supposedly did not return the Daily Beast request for comment. Now, look, I don't get this, Donna. Whoever his attorney is needs to be fired. Because if I was his attorney, I would not even send that kind of letter. Basically, you just set yourself up for failure. You know what attorney would do, Donna, in this case? No comment. We'll see you in court. What attorney would send a response letter? He would just say, see you in court. We'll go into court and we'll battle it. That's what you do. You don't send a letter back and says, oh, your cease and desist is invalid. All you doing is leaving the gateway to getting sued. That's one of the rules of an attorney. You don't respond to stuff like that. You take it to the court. You don't say nothing. But instead, you leave the door open. And maybe the attorney wanted that so he can get more money. So essentially, the family also released home surveillance footage. Oh, so it's the family released home surveillance footage of Crowder berating his ex-wife while she was having pregnant. So it was the family, Donna. They thought it was some hacker.
Oh, the family did.
Yes, the family.
Love it.
The family released it. So essentially, Crowder knew he was lying, O's alleged. He knew what people would discern from it, but now he's backtracking it privately by trying to make it seem like my video made him feel like it could have been extortion, which is obviously bullshit. But it's what Steven Crowder does. He lies for a living. Now, these are both conservatives. Just to let y'all know, Owens is not a liberal. She is as conservative as you can get. Owens theorized that Crowder made his announcement now after his once ally Owen Benjamin leaks news of Crowder's divorce this week. She also speculated that the announcement was meant to distract from a recent interview in which a former Crowder employee accused Crowder of censoring him. Crowder and Owens' feuds dates back to January when Crowder went public with a job offer he received from Owens' employer, the Daily Wire. Crowder slammed the $50 million deal as a slave contract that would subject him to big tech censorship, namely because the Daily Wire reserved the right to dock Crowder's pay if his channel, which frequently promotes racist, sexist, and anti-LGBT material, got demonetized or suspended. Crowder released a recorded phone call with the Daily Wire CEO, leaking to a counteroffensive from the Daily Wire personalities like Owen. So, but you hear that, Donna? So Crowder leaked a recorded phone call. Now the question was, was the parties, both parties, were they acknowledged that the call was being recorded? Oops. Was the call being? Did the Daily Wire CEO knew that the call was being recorded? And it depends on the state too. So y'all didn't think about that now, did you? But then y'all want to talk about, ooh, whoever leaked that tape, they should go to jail because that's illegal. But isn't what Crowder just did illegal? Yeah, exactly. All right, let's continue. In the clip from Owen's January show, she described Crowder's actions as possible result of personal distress. Stephen has got a lot going on. I guess is the best way to say it. He has a lot going on and should be clear because people don't do stuff like this. It's like they're going on in their lives. On sending the clip, she later added that I'm unsure at this moment if it's my place to say more than that. Maybe if I feel in the further defense something should say it, or if I maybe feel that the public has a right to understand certain circumstances. On Thursday, Crowder's ex-wife Hillary family released statement and video footage to writer Yashar Ali accusing Crowder of emotional abuse. So the family, her family, released the footage, not some hacker. They released it to Yashar Ali. They released it directly to him. The truth is that Hillary spent years hiding Stephen's mentally and emotionally abusive behavior from her friends and family while she attempted to save their marriage. She was the one who was asking to work on their relationship to keep the marriage intact for their unborn children. The statement read, the family went on to accuse Crowder of choosing not to be presented at the birth of the couple's twins in 2021. Now, I will say he did have surgery on that same time that the kids were born. So I'm not going to sit up there and just leave that out. The family also alleged that Crowder had effectively ended their relationship, buying a townhouse, moving out of the couple's home, cutting Hillary off financially, and hiring a divorce attorney without her knowledge. The family also released home surveillance footage of Crowder berating his ex-wife while she was heavily pregnant. In the video, Crowder forbids his wife from using their car because he refused to do wifely things. The only way out of this is discipline and respect, he tells her. Later in the footage, Hillary states, I love you, but your abuse is sick. Watch it, watch it.
Hold
Fucking
it just a second. Go back a sentence or two. What was that?
later in the footage, Hillary states, I love you, but your abuse is sick. And then he responds, watch it, fucking watch it, he replies.
No, 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 no. Ladies, red flag. We got a problem here. Yeah, he's a dusty. Mm-hmm. He have issues. Okay, go back. Resume reading. Sorry there.
Oh, no problem. When she states she needs space, but that she loves him, Crowder replies, I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. In his Tuesday video, Crowder repeatedly states that the divorce was his wife's decision. In the video, he laments that Texas law allows no fault divorce, but yet you the one to hire the divorce attorney behind her back. So of course she had to move forward with the situation because you already hired a divorce attorney without her knowledge. Therefore, she had to do what she had to do, sir. Was not my choice. My then wife decided that she did not want to be married anymore. In the state of Texas, that is completely permitted, he says. Well, that's for any state, sir. They can, yes, they can, you know, in a way, anyone can do that, sir. I mean, just be honest with you. Actually, we got a video of Candace Owens and playing Steven Crowder. Let me pull that up. And you know, Donna, if you got any statements, we can do that, and after that, we'll shut it down. Let me.
No, I'm flowing with you, listening to this. I'm learning something new because I never heard about this guy. But I don't like these type of dudes that want to put their hands on women, and
Mhm.
especially she's pregnant. Are you kidding me? All right. What you got? I'll pull it up.
Okay, let me go ahead and pull this up. Let me give me 1 second.
No problem.
Let me
And if you've been watching this, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit that like button. Okay? Hit the like and share your thoughts. And tell me, did you hear about this? Do you know who this guy is, Steven Crowder? Because this is my first time hearing about him, and I don't like him. Not at all. And we see the proof. We have video, right? Yep.
I don't have a dog in the fight in this one, people. So I'm again. I mean, I've heard of Crowder. I will say that he's quite popular on YouTube. He's got over 5 million subscribers, so he's a big name in very conservative areas, pretty much in the Republican side, GOP side.
Oh,
He's a Canadian American citizen. He's born in Detroit, and of course, when he was 3 months old, they moved to Canada. So he lived most of all his life in Canada. So, but again, I don't have a dog in the fight in this one. So I'm only just pointing out the obvious. Um, I do believe the guy does have some issues. Needs to work on as far as dealing with women. Um, I understand that when you in the media and you become famous and you all the money start rolling in, sometimes the ego outweighs the cash flow. But you always got to remember the cash flow always should always outweigh the ego. But in some cases, sometimes the ego outweighs the cash flow. So let's go
you
ahead.
have a point, Jack. You have a point.
Yeah. So here's a video with Canada's own respondent Stephen Crowder's "A Monster Changed My Mind."
Breaking news that just happened. And before we get to it, I just want to back up and tell you why we are discussing this breaking news, because it's occurred to me that there are some people out there who believe that to be a conservative, what it means is that we become tribal and we defend other conservatives even when they do things that are wrong.
Fair
That we
use.
don't discuss things that are horrible on our own side because we need to just make sure that we score wins in other ways. And that is wrong. That to me is the exact opposite of why I have this platform. I am not tribal. I want to expose things when they are bad on the left, and I will also expose things when they are bad on the right. Obviously, I have been interested in the Steven Crowder saga pertaining to his divorce because he literally inserted me into his divorce a couple of days ago. And his wife and family are now speaking out regarding that video in which he told people publicly that his wife was leaving him. You remember this. He chose wrong. And he essentially made it sound as if he did not want his marriage to end, but his wife simply wanted to leave. Well, she has responded by giving video, and I want to prep you. I want you to know this is horrific video. It is very difficult to watch. It's especially difficult to watch because in this footage, she is 8 months pregnant. And the video essentially reveals just how emotionally abusive he has been. And she is alleging that he has been emotionally abusive to her. And this video all but confirms it. So let's first get to the footage. I'm just going to allow you to watch it in its entirety.
I drew a boundary. I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abusive and cruel. You were not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There is no groceries. I do have
Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes. How does a man respect? How does a man receive love and respect? No. How does a man respect? No, you're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You're not taking the car.
Stephen,
You are not
then
taking
I
the
will
car.
ask someone to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not a threat, Stephen.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Stephen, I can't.
Pause it for a second, Jack.
Feeling some constraints?
Stephen.
Like, I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see, she's pregnant. It's clear as day she's pregnant. And how can you talk to a woman like that? Now, one thing I always say, ladies and gentlemen, the the most worst thing a man can do to a woman. There's a lot of things, but I'm just saying is for him to mistreat you so bad while you pregnant. put his hands on you, cheat on you while you're pregnant. When they can do stuff like this while you are carrying their child, their seed in your body, oh yeah, he's a dusty, he's a lowlife. Okay? He doesn't have any care for you, anything. It's all about him. Because how can you do that? This lady is carrying your child. And for them to cheat on you, to berate you, physically abuse you, that's not good. And it's really sad, and this happens a lot. And in some cases, some men, they will take your life. Yeah, that'll happen. I always thought this is the lowest when you're pregnant. This is a time that a woman needs him. He needs his support and his understanding because the hormones is going crazy. A lot of men don't seem to realize that sometimes when women have babies, they die. Once they push the baby out, they just die immediately right there at the spot. My mother's best friend, who passed away, rest in peace, beautiful. Her mother died giving birth to her, and she had older siblings. I think 2 older siblings, whatever. But when her mother had her, she died right there. So it's serious. So this lets me know he doesn't care. He doesn't have no love for you. Probably never did in the beginning. But okay, I just wanted to share that. I have to share my thoughts and opinions to give some dating advice and relationship advice so people just, ladies be aware and, men be aware. All right, I'm sorry. All right, go ahead, Jack. Resume.
All right, you got all that off your chest?
Oh, yeah, I don't like this kind of stuff.
I
I
don't
think
blame you. I don't blame you.
I can't be home. You're gonna take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
See,
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Steven,
You're making it feel easy. The only way out of this is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
we are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect.
Steven,
There you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easily.
I don't give up, Steven.
Hillary,
Steven,
you give up so
Steven,
easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Steven, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Steven, your abuse is sick. Your abuse
Watch it.
is sick.
Watch it. Watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just talk and baby for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, you just be disciplined about it. You go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. We're at an impasse. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife. As a wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna engage anymore. I'm gonna go. I'll get text me what you need. I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not gonna.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. I'm committed to you. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves.
I need to.
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm gonna just.
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? No, you take that in.
So that is both heartbreaking and infuriating for me to watch. I cannot even comprehend how any man can speak to a woman like that, least of all when she is 8 months pregnant. And sadly, that isn't the worst part of that correspondence. The journalist that dropped this video is Yashar Ali. He dropped this as well as a Substack entry accompanying it. On the Substack article, he wrote, moments later, off camera, Steven Crowder, by his own admission, would lose control and scream at his pregnant wife in a threatening tone, quote, "I will f you up," end quote, which led his wife to flee their home.
Jack, please
She then
pause that for
sent
a second,
a statement,
please.
which I want to be very.
So this clown said what? Okay, we got another clown here, a dusty clown. You said what? I'm getting angry. I don't like this. I really don't. Anybody who's been watching my channel, you know, I don't like this. I really don't. This bothers me. Look at that. Look at the picture, ladies and gentlemen. See how you got that gun sitting on the table? Why? Red flag, ladies. Red flag. All right, Jack, resume.
Clear. This statement I knew was going to come out. I didn't know any of this information. I had no idea there was a video or there was any evidence. I did know that their family was thinking about issuing a statement, and Hillary Crowder did issue a statement. And I'm going to read you that statement in its entirety because it's important. I think it reveals a lot of the lies that Steven has been telling publicly to his audiences. It reads, Hillary is currently living alone in Dallas apart from her family and support system in Michigan and is focused on taking care of her young children. She is not prepared at this time to speak about her divorce becoming public or the misleading statements made by Steven about their relationship. The truth is that Hillary spent years hiding Steven's mentally and emotionally abusive behavior from her friends and family while she attempted to save their marriage. She was the one who was asking to work on their relationship to keep the marriage intact for their unborn child. In June of 2021, Steven left their home to pursue elective surgery. That's very important. I want you to remember that. I'm going to come back to that point. Hillary urged him to get the help he needed to address his abuse with the hope that their marriage could be saved and they could peacefully live together as a family. Instead, Steven refused to do so and chose not to be with his wife during the birth of their twin children. After the birth, Steven bought a townhouse and left their home permanently. Hillary was not aware that Steven hired a divorce attorney and asked his assistant to cut Hillary off financially. There is significant documentation substantiating these facts. I want you to remember that portion as well, because that's another lie that Steven has told publicly. We hope that Steven will cease from speaking publicly about these personal matters in an untruthful manner. We also look forward to there being full transparency in the legal process so there is fairness and accountability for the actions that caused the divorce and to ensure the outcome is what is in the best interests of the young children. I would first like to go back to that portion where she says Steven left their home to pursue elective surgery, because I know exactly what surgery she's referring to, because during my first backstage here at Daily Wire, we actually prayed for Steven and this surgery. So before I show you a clip from us on backstage, here is Steven describing that surgery, and it certainly doesn't sound like it's elective. Take a listen.
I explained to you a little bit what it is. You know, a lot of people say, why are you smoking? My heart is actually great, but my heart doesn't work great. And the reason my heart doesn't work great is, long story short, because of a connective tissue disorder I have, and my chest is caving in on my heart. So I've got about, I'm at a little more than half of the blood flow that you guys have, ventricular output from my heart. So it's a mechanical fix. And I don't know, maybe I'll feel like Lance Armstrong, you know, like I'm on EPO after this, because I don't know what it's like to go through life with full blood flow. To me, I'm looking forward to it, not looking forward to the pain. Lance Armstrong, by the way, with the 3 balls, not the one. So yeah, it's overall a positive thing, and honestly, I've probably needed a little bit of rest. It comes in the form of having my chest cracked open.
Obviously, he had the surgery, and then his lung collapsed, and here is us praying for him, praying that he actually gets better.
Before we leave, I just have to, this one off the subject for a minute. Our pal, Steve Crowder, who makes the best ashtrays in the country,
Truly.
is in the hospital fighting for his life, and he's really come close. He's come close to the dark edge of things. And I just want to say that crazy as he is, we love him, and we're thinking about him. That we hope he makes it back.
You're a better man than I am.
Well, that's true.
I was actually just looking forward to the show being over so that I could text him and say, hope you don't make it, pal.
Actually, this is a real story. Last night I had to go for a drive, because it was a long story, but I had to burn down gas to take my car into the shop. And so I was going to smoke a cigar, and I was going to say my nightly prayers. And I thought, I should probably pray for Crowder, because he's in this. And I thought, oh, well, what's great? I'm going to light up one of the cigars that Crowder sent me.
Yeah.
And Crowder, this guy who's a complete maniac, he sent me these beautiful cigars, and I was like, oh, pal, I'm going to send you some cigars right away from my humidor. Haven't sent him a single thing, but that guy, he, really a generous fellow, and doesn't get enough credit.
I actually did text him and say that we were praying for him at great risk to our souls.
And if he dies, I personally will kill him. Right?
And yet, according to his wife, this was an elective surgery, really a cosmetic surgery, because Stephen didn't like the way that his chest looked because he had a sunken chest, and it was not something that was actually required to save his life. And yet we see that same pattern of behavior. Stephen garnering a ton of affection and prayers from his followers purporting to be the victim, when in fact the facts don't line up with his narrative. The second portion that I'd like to point to is where it says Hillary was not aware that Stephen hired a divorce attorney. This stands in stark contrast to what he told his followers when he said how hard divorce was and how difficult and horrific it had been, and how he really didn't want it, and just, Texas is a no-fault divorce state. What is the truth here? I don't know. Obviously, right now we have his wife's word versus Stephen's word, but given my personal experience with Stephen, I am very much inclined to believe his wife. Now, I'd like to get in some other portions of this article, which I think are really important. The writer has a bunch of audio files and text messages that were sent to him that he was able to review. He writes, in audio files and text messages that I reviewed, Stephen Crowder admits to some of his faults, which include a volcanic temper, repeatedly and at times regretfully. But according to sources that I spoke to who are familiar with their relationship, Crowder's admissions often came after a sustained period of mental and emotional abuse, and he didn't seem to be able to control his impulses. That, again, is something that I have seen personally. Very bizarre, but he would insert me into a divorce announcement and purport that I somehow extorted him. It's very bizarre in the way that he attacked the Daily Wire, and there just seem to be a lot of signs that he is not able to control his emotions. And so the question that I will ask is, how many people are going to allege abuse from Stephen Crowder before we listen, before we stop saying he's one of us because he says things that he agrees with? We purport that we are the party of family values. How can you look at that video and defend him in any way? How can you look at that video and not roundly condemn this and say this is not something that actually represents the things that we believe? The writer goes on to say, like so many things in his life in recent years, Crowder's temper and paranoia led him to destroy his relationships with Sir Shapiro, Boring, and others at the Daily Wire when he posted a video on his channel suggesting that the Daily Wire, without naming the company, was attempting to align itself with big tech by mentioning in their initial offer to him that if he was demonetized on social media platforms, that it would reduce his overall compensation. Well, again, going back to the pattern, it's not just the Daily Wire. It's David Landau. It's Sven the Computer. It's Jared Monroe, formerly known as Not Gay Jared, people that are locked into NDAs and are not allowed to speak about the abuse that they endured by Stephen Crowder. It's Owen Benjamin. It's now his wife. Do you believe that all of these various different parties, the majority of them who have never spoken to each other, I have never spoken to Sven the Computer, I've never spoken to David Landau, I've never spoken to Hillary Crowder, I've never spoken to Owen Benjamin. Do you believe that all of these people, as is the paranoid narrative that Stephen Crowder is presenting, are working maybe in collusion with big tech to try to destroy him? Or do you believe it's plausible that Stephen Crowder is just a monster? I personally believe that he is a monster. And that is, by the way, Stephen, if you're watching, I'm not trying to extort you. I am just simply telling the truth. There was a lot of things that are going on, and I am glad that his wife found the strength to speak out. And I'm calling upon everybody to roundly condemn this, to reject this firmly, not to somehow come up with an excuse and say, oh, well, it's a divorce, so we shouldn't talk about it. We should mind our own business. No, the way that we represent ourselves privately and publicly should be the same. If you purport to care about family values, again, then you should care about this situation and you should condemn it. Yashar Ali also added in this article, in reviewing documentary evidence related to their marriage, Stephen Crowder appears to be obsessed with the idea that his wife is only interested in him for money. Hillary Crowder started dating him well before he became famous and wealthy. He was making less than $100,000 a year when they got married. Again, the Crowder narrative never seems to line up with the reality. And on that note, for those of you that are asking for an update, yes, I did send a cease and desist to him regarding his comments that I somehow extorted him. I sent the cease and desist. I heard back from his lawyer, and essentially what I get from this is that his lawyer is saying that this was just his opinion and it was just Steven Crowder's feelings. And even though it wasn't reality, too bad, so sad. Here's exactly what that legal letter back to me said. I'm going to read you a couple of quotations. It says, "The simple fact is that Ms. Owens, as shown in the clip, made thinly veiled threats directed at Mr. Crowder that she would release the alleged dirt she had on him if he kept making statements about the Daily Wire. Mr. Crowder's opinions fall short of any defamation. At most, he has merely opined comparatively the feeling of certain misconduct to his own present state of being. Then the subsequent use of the word threats is not in and of itself an accusation of crime, even within the larger context in which it was used. The most reasonable implication is not an accusation of crime, but that threats have occurred that fall short of being a crime. Again, at most, they are simply reminiscent in Mr. Crowder's personal opinion of the specifically referenced type of misconduct. In short, these are his feelings, they are not facts, and his opinions are protected. And to make it clear for those of you that thought there was something going on in the background or that someone had secretly threatened him, his lawyer is alleging that's not the case. He was simply referring to the exact clip that he showed you of me. Nothing else happened. He just wanted you guys to think that he was under duress in some other capacity. In short, as I have said, I believe Steven Crowder is an absolute monster, and I encourage all of the other people that he has victimized to find their strength to speak out now. By the way, his lawyer offered to me that we could both agree to a ceasefire if I agreed that I would never speak about Steven Crowder again. And to him, I would publicly like to say, your client doesn't have that kind of money to keep Candace Owens from speaking out about things that I find to be absolutely despicable. And that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, guys, if you liked this video, then please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications.
All righty. Wow. That's a mouthful. Donna, go. I'm gonna let you go ahead and fire off.
I basically said what I said before. You just have, that's the most trifling thing a man could do while she's spreading it. Like I said, I never heard of this dude, and I don't know nothing about them. I don't watch his commentary or nothing. I just never heard of him until now. And, thank you, Jack, for bringing it to my attention because, I always talk about things about with dating, love, relationship, and toxic relationship. And I do a lot of things about domestic violence. And that's insane. And she's spreading it too. You're a creep. You're no good for nothing. And a lot of things with these social media people, they get so big in the head. They get a little bit too big in the head. But you're not. It's just social media. You don't have a deal with Warner Brothers. Okay? You on social media. Really, really, really. Okay, Jack, you go ahead.
All right. Well, just to give people clarity, that video was in July 2021. So she's not pregnant anymore, people. I understand people's feelings get very high, but during that time she was pregnant. But the twins are alive and well and doing very well. Congratulations. Now, as far as with Steven Crowder, now look, you got a problem, sir. They offer you $50 million. You felt like you deserve more, which a lot of people don't know you. And then you're saying, well, if you're not going to comply to my demands, I'm going to accuse y'all of being with big tech. Well, Daily Wire has to cover their ass because you say a lot of controversial statements. You do a lot of, you get yourself mixed into race issues. You mix yourself into LGBTQ issues. You mix yourself in liberal issues. So of course, with that, you engage in that type of controversy, there is risk. And the company is looking at the overall overhead cost and attorney litigation reserve assets they have to use in case you say something out of line and then the other side starts to sue the Daily Wire because you are an employee of that company. That's why. You are a risk, sir. That's why the contract was made the way it was. You turned it down, that's cool. That's fine. I have no problem with that. Hey, if you feel like the contract isn't working out for you, or you feel like you're not getting a good deal, don't take the contract. But then don't sit up there and blame Candace Owens for the stuff that you're going down now. Sir, you got to blame yourself. You got to hold yourself accountable as a man. Got to hold yourself accountable as a human being. You're not above criticism, even though you feel like that you are. But sir, you're not above criticism. You're not. You're nowhere near above. No one is above the program. Just to let you know, no one in this world is above the program. That includes men, that includes women, that includes children. Hell, that includes animals. No one's above the program. No one. You're going to have to answer to somebody, one way or another. Somebody has to answer to somebody. And Mr. Crowder, you're going to have to answer to somebody. Now, what you did is not considered illegal. What you did is not considered criminal. So therefore, there can't be no criminal charges being pressed against you because you did not commit what you consider a crime that is on the law, on the books in the state of Texas. But morally, sir, you're corrupt. Morally, you're verbally abusive towards your woman. Now, I'm not going to say that you have been physical abusive because I don't have any proof, paperwork, or evidence whatsoever, okay? We can only make assumptions, and, I don't always like to make assumptions because it makes an ass out of you and me. But in this matter, sir, what shows in the video, that seems typical behavior. That's not like a flash out incident. That seems like that's pretty kind of normal. And the family has stated for years he has been verbally abusive, emotionally abusive towards his wife. Now, they never said he was physically abusive. So that's the good part. That's a good thing. He's not physically abusive, but he is emotionally abusive, which is bad. Okay. And now all this is coming out. You're trying to do damage control. You try to point fingers. You're pointing fingers at Candace Owens. You're blaming Daily Wire for this. You're accusing them of all this other stuff. And then you got some supporters out there who are foolish enough to ride along with this Trojan horse that you're carrying on, which is going to be burned down pretty soon. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. They're entitled to whatever they want to believe about this matter. That includes Mr. Tommy Sotomayor, which, of course, the manosphere is going to come and defend Steven Crowder, even though there are certain members of the manosphere Steven Crowder would give a rat's behind about when it comes down to their issues. And I'm not going to, beat the drum on this one because this is done as broadcast, but you know what I'm talking about. But it's strange that Mr. Crowder cannot take responsibility or accountability whatsoever in his actions and his behaviors. He does need psychological help. I do believe he does need help because if he doesn't get help, what's going to happen is this is kind of the same reason why Tucker Carlson was fired, is because Tucker Carlson was the same way, according to several sources, that Tucker Carlson was berating people, emotionally abusive, name calling, that sort of thing, that sort of manner. And I know this says, yes, you got to be hard and strong and aggressive and talk to people in that way. Well, let me tell you something. Look, I'm not going to go further in detail myself, but I see over people and I never yell at them. I never berate them. I never disrespect them. I always help them regardless of what's going on. That's how you run a leadership. You lead by example. You take it to the front line. You go into the forefront, and the followers will sit there and see you lead, and they're going to be inspired to lead themselves. Now, Crowder, on the other hand, he's the kind of guy that says, I'm the king, you do as I say, and kneel before me and let me put my feet on your stomach so I can release the heat off my body. Okay. But then you have the leaders who actually lead by example, who actually encourage followers to be leaders. That's what you should be doing, sir. Not dictating a regime. And now you have to go to Rumble to get a deal, just like with DJ Academics, the same DJ Academics that was accused of emotionally and possibly physically abusing his now ex-girlfriend. And he stated that he chose wrong. I'm talking about Steven Crowder. And Academics echoed the same sentiments. I chose wrong. Well, sir, maybe you're the problem. Mr. Crowder, you didn't choose wrong. Actually, you were in the wrong. And sometimes, as men or even as women, we have to look ourselves in the mirror and reflect on the things we do. And if we did wrong, we have to own up to it, be held accountable, and make amends with the people we have offended. Now, of course, if we didn't do anything wrong, we didn't offend nobody, didn't do nothing. But, sir, you did wrong. And instead of just saying, you know what, that was my low point in my life, I was being a terrible husband, I was being a terrible man. And I apologize to my soon-to-be ex-wife. That's what you should have did. But see, your ego didn't allow that. Your ego actually allow you to go to another level of foolishness, another level of insanity. And then you're starting fires where it weren't necessary. So now you start a fire with the Daily Wire with Candace Owens, and Candace Owens is a much bigger figure than you are. She is a much bigger presence around the world than you are. And she has enough resources to take you down, sir. That's the fear you have. You just don't want to be taken down by a woman, but guess what? You are. You're finna be taken down by one. You accuse this woman of defamation. You accusing him of extortion. That's what you're doing, sir. Instead of owning up to what you got going on, you want to blame the woman. And I know it's a lot of these manosphere guys or cuckosphere guys like to blame the woman for everything. Now, there are some things that some women do we will point out that it's obviously their fault. But it's time to start reflecting on what some of the guys are doing. Instead of just pointing all the finger at the woman, oh, it's the woman's fault. It's the woman's fault. It's the woman's fault. The woman's fault is the reason why. The woman's fault. The woman's fault. The woman's fault. Look, that's a cowardly way out. Sometimes, man, we got to look in the mirror. I understand. Sometimes it is our fault in the position I am. If I'm stuck in a position, it's my fault because I didn't work hard enough. I didn't try hard enough. I didn't do certain things I should be doing. I can't blame nobody else in my position but my own self. I can't blame God. I can't blame Jesus. I can't blame Adam. I can't blame Eve. I can't blame my parents. I got to blame myself first. Then work on overcoming those errors by making achievements. Got anything else to add, Donna?
No, I said everything I had to say. I see you had your thoughts there. Your closing thoughts. Well, my closing thoughts is, like I always say, date smart, not thirsty. Watch out for the red flags. And for him to berate his wife like that while she's pregnant, that's just horrible. And I can understand, why Candace, I don't know too much about her. I don't really like follow her, nothing personal. I just don't know much about her. Just like I'm just finding out about this Steve person here. And I can understand why she's upset about it. And I feel the same way. It's just so horrible and hard to watch. And I'm like, are you flipping kidding me? So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, date smart, not thirsty. And, if you're in a situation, a relationship that you're being abused, abuse don't have to be actually physical. It could be mentally and emotional or financially. Get out. You know, And blessings to the, to her children and everything. And thank you, Jack, for bringing this attention to the, to my channel, because he knows I talks a lot about, domestic violence, and it's something I didn't know about with this person. So make sure, everybody, you leave your share your thoughts and opinions. Tell me. Question is, do you know about him? How do you feel about this? Did you hear about this? What is your comments and your thoughts about Candace Owen? Whatever. Just share your thoughts. Or if you don't want to share it on here, you can email me. We can go from there. But just be respectful for whatever you want to, share your thoughts. I want everybody to share their thoughts on my channel and stuff like that. But just be respectful. And also, if you want to need to get a hold of Jack, the real Jack Newtown, look in the description. I'll have the email, and we can go from there. If he has viewers requests, and contact him and go from there. And thank you, Jack. You did a phenomenal broadcast. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mm-hmm. So again, date smart, not thirsty. Be aware of the red flags and the signs. But I have to give the girlfriend something. I gotta give you credit. No, let's go here. You got out of there. You go, girl. Bye. Adios.